What is going on, everybody? My name's GiraffeAnatomy, and this is another quick god guide for Smite. Today we're looking at Daji, the nine-tailed fox. What we're going to do is we're going to get into some jungle practice. We're going to basically go over her moves, talk about her abilities, how to play her, and hopefully by the end of this video, you know a little bit more about Daji, you know how to play her, kind of how to utilize her abilities and utilize her kit in the game of Smite. So what we're going to do, going to get into jungle practice. We're going to pick Daji and we're going to get rolling here. First and foremost, Daji is an assassin in Smite. Basically what she's meant to do is she's normally meant to fulfill the jungle role in Smite. She's doing the buffs, the camps, and she is ganking lanes.
These gods will soon feel the most excruciating pain.
Trying to basically get her lanes ahead and help her team farm, apply pressure to the enemy team, deny them farm when it comes to the neutral camps and objectives and things like that as well. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go over all of Daji's abilities first, and then we'll get into how to play her, how to use those abilities together, how to basically use her kit, play her in Smite, and then we can get into a little bit of like items that work and synergize with her kit really well, because there are a few that she really likes building and she really likes using. So first we'll go over Daji's passive, which is Tortured Blades. Daji's sharp claws cause her enemies to bleed when struck by her basic attacks. Bleeding causes the enemy to take additional damage every 1 second for 2 seconds. This damage does not trigger item effects. Bleed can stack any number of times on the same target. Damage per 7, right? So what does this mean? Basically, when you auto attack with Daji, you'll see the main number come up there, 45. That's damage. Then you see those two little numbers, the 4s, come up. That's basically her bleed damage, right? So for each basic attack, what this means is if you basic attack somebody, they will bleed. And for each basic attack, it's basically 2 ticks. 1, 2, right? The timing on here says right every 1 second for 2 seconds. So that basically means so for every auto attack that you do to them, it will tick twice, right? So if you do 1, you'll see the main 45 damage and then the 2 ticks. You do 2 auto attacks, 1, 2, you'll see 4, 4, 4, 4, and 4. You'll see 4 ticks, right? So it just multiplies like that. If you do 3 basic attacks, they will bleed that 4 damage every single time for 6, right? So if you do 1, 2, 3, we see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? So just multiply it. The more basic attacks you can do to somebody, the more bleed damage that's going to be done to them, right? Very basic for that, and that all scales with her power and stuff like that as well, which I'll show you later when we start getting some items on. Let's get into her abilities. Daji's first ability is called Horrible Burns. Daji heats up her claws, causing her next successful hit basic attack to burn the target, dealing instant bonus damage, additional damage every 1 second for 3 seconds, and slowing them for 3 seconds. Daji gains haste when this ability activates, which lasts until she hits a target. So basically, what you need to know about this is when you click this, you're going to get that initial burst damage. You'll see there, it goes from 30, scales to 150, and a damage per tick. So for this one, what you want to watch for is when you hit a target with it, you see that 80 and then 27, 27, 27. So this lasts 1 more tick than her passive does. And it's stacking with that passive. So you'll see her passive is still there. You'll still see the 4s tick. When the burn damage from her claws comes into play, you'll see 3 ticks. So you'll see that initial burst damage. So you do this. That 80 is the initial burn damage. Then you see 27, 27, 27. So you'll see 3 ticks of 27 after that. That's basically what this is when it comes to the damage per tick. And the other good thing about this is when you activate it, Daji basically... Will it show you? No, it doesn't show you. She basically gains haste until she hits a target, which means you can auto attack and not slow down until you hit your target. Then you're back to normal walking speed, right? So haste basically just means like you can auto attack and run at the same speed. Normally when you run and you start auto attacking, see how she slows down there? And then she speeds up again once you stop auto attacking. With this ability, you're able to just run after people, right? When you activate this, You're just walking at your normal movement speed, whatever that is, until you hit a target. So it enables you to really chase people down, just kind of hold left click until you hit someone, right? So once you hit somebody, you go back to it. The other thing is it slows them, right? Once you see that, they're slowed. So you're basically running after somebody. Because of this, you can auto attack and still run at full speed. So you're running after somebody, and then once you hit them, they're slowed, right? Which allows you to keep auto attacking and be able to keep up with them during that time frame, right? It's a very good initiator tool. This is basically, you're popping this every single time you start a fight. You should pop this before you start a fight, right? If you see somebody and you think you're going to go in, pop the claws. These should honestly kind of just be up all the time, unless you don't want to hit something with this. If you want to, like, for some reason, wait in a fight after you start engaging to maybe bait out like a tank or something, you hit them with normal abilities, and then like the ADC jumps in, and then you pop the claws and go for the ADC. You can do that, right? But besides that, these should always be popped. This will give you haste to like run around and auto attack and stuff. So just do this like whenever it's up, right? It's on a very short cooldown. Once you pop somebody, 8 seconds, you start your fight, you do your things, you do your camps, whatever you're doing, it'll be back up. Pop those claws all the time before you engage, so you normally want that in. Let's talk about her second ability, called 1000 Cuts. Daiji lashes out with her claws at nearby enemies, executing 4 strikes that damage all enemies in range and apply the bleed from torture blades. While this ability is channeling, Daiji moves freely in all directions, gains 40% increased movement speed, immunity to slows and knockups, and her tails mitigate damage dealt to her by enemy gods who are behind her, right? So just to give you an idea of what this looks like, you'll see there's 2 semicircles here, right? The front one is the big one. That's where all the damage is going to be. But you see this little one right behind her, like kind of where she's standing, the semicircle behind her, that's the damage reduction zone. So if somebody, if you need to run away or something, this is basically the ability you're using to get out. This is your movement speed ability. It's not a leap. It's not necessarily like a dash either. You basically just get more movement speed. So when you use it, you're a little faster. And you can see that second semicircle down here. You'll get damage reduction for anybody like shooting at you as you run away. So this is good for maybe coming in, killing somebody, and like an ADC is chasing you down, they're autoing at you. You basically pop this, and you can see this right here, right? It'll protect you a little bit as you're trying to get away from somebody. So normally, when you're running away, you want to press forward and run away from them like this. It's okay because Daiji, she's going to take less damage if they're attacking behind her during that ability, right? So you can use that for getting away. It will also apply the bleed from torture blades, right? So her passive, when you attack somebody with this,
I am untouchable.
each one of those hits, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? It's going to stack that bleed. So you see all those little 6s, and then you're getting the bonus damage, right? The bonus damage per hit as well. So while this ability is channeling, you'll see that 88, 88, 88, 88. That's for each swipe, and then you get those little 6s. A lot of the times, I see people cancel out of this ability just to proc like Hydras and stuff. Because in the middle of the team fight, it's not going to do as much damage as like a basic attack will be. And you'll see once we get her up and get her with some items and stuff, I will see people like pop claws, do this, and do that, right? Like you're basically doing the ability to burst damage as much as possible, get those autos in with Daiji and get more damage off. So that's a really good ability for her to use. The damage mitigation, like, 40% once you get it all the way leveled up and everything like that. You get that movement speed. So it's a good chase down tool, right? Once again, you're able to auto like this. You're able to do this to like catch up and chase somebody, right? The claws stay active, so once you hit them, like that's basically how you're going to use these 2 abilities to close the gap with somebody. We'll talk about her 3 here in a second. But yeah, basically you can pop your claws and you can use this to close the gap. And then once you get there, you're able to hit them with your 1, slow them down, do your damage. Let's talk about her 3, called Trickster Spirit. Daiji selects a single allied or enemy target and teleports to their location after a short delay. Upon arriving at the target, she lashes out with her claws, dealing damage and applying the bleed from torture blades to all enemies around her. So basically, this is her main like leap teleport ability. You can choose to either try and escape with it or engage with it. Because of the way this is set up, I'll show you what it looks like first, and then we can kind of talk about how these are all utilized together. Basically what this is it's a targeter. You can go to like anything on the map. I know it says enemies and allies, but you can actually go to buff camps on this as well. So if there's a buff camp, right, you can target this, and what will happen is that's the delay. It'll teleport to whatever the target you have set. The other thing is she does an immediate like burst of damage as she lands, so it's already going to do initial damage. Very good engage tool. You can also use it on bigger objectives like the fire giant, right? So you can, if you want, like after ganking solo lane, like go to like where the totem is and like teleport on the other side to like fire giant to try and get out and stuff of fights. Same thing with like Gold Fury, if you can reach over there. I think it reaches. But still, big objectives like that, you can use it on. Smaller objectives, minions, you can use this teleport ability. And you can teleport to allied or enemy gods, right? The allied is important because you can gank a lane, right? You can gank a lane and be attacking somebody, and then you want to get out, and you go to your allies. It'll give you that little boop, and you'll be able to increase the gap between you and whoever's trying to chase you down after you came in and tried to gank or get a kill or whatever. Big thing about this too is it does apply the bleed to torture blades to enemies all around her. So what you want to do is, to say you went to this one, see how it hit multiple targets, right? There is sort of like a range to it, so if everyone's kind of grouped together, you will do this burst damage and bleed to people all around her, right? You can use this if people are like grouped up together in the middle of like maybe like a team fight, and you come in and they have like 1 or 2 people near them. Look at that, you're doing 202 to all 3 of them, right? It does have like this little bit of like a range, so keep that in mind when you're coming in for a gank. If you're diving some people, maybe dive 2 people that are close together because you'll get more damage off like that. But yeah, so really with these three items, you can choose to do multiple things when it comes to engaging. First, you can you're always going to kind of want your claws popped, like I said, and you can then choose to, after your claws are popped, use her 3 to get in there, and then auto, right? It's a lot of burst damage right away, and now you can use this to stay close to them once the slow wears off, right, and finish off that kill, because you get the movement speed with her too. So you can come in with her 3, and let me do this because it's about time we start doing this stuff and I show you guys.
Only the finest blades will
Jotun's just for some cooldown. Hydra's is an incredibly good item for her. Something you're gonna want to be building on her almost every time, right? And the reason is because of Hydra's passive, which is for 8 seconds after using an ability, your next basic attack will deal an additional 35% damage. Abilities that function like basic attacks do not benefit from this, right? But what this means is when you normally attack somebody, 150, right? Then you're getting the bleed, 11, 11. Now if I pop my claws first and I do this, I'm doing 202 on that first swipe instead of 150. It's an extra 50 damage just because I pop my 1. So you can basically use this to do things like pop your 1, right? Do that. Do her 2. Do that again. Guess what? Do her 3. Do that again. 202, 202, 202. After using her abilities, you get that boosted auto attack damage. So what you're going to want to do here is you can, like I said, you can engage with Trickster Spirit, and then right after, so if you want to engage with Trickster Spirit, you can do this. That's 272. Then you pop the Hydras, then you pop the Claws, then you do it again, and they're slowed 202, right? Now you're just doing your auto damage. You can use this to keep up with them. Cancel, right click, cancel it. Get that extra 202 afterwards, right? Daiji, you want to be auto attacking in between her abilities and using Hydras. Try and build it as soon as possible on her. It will really, really help you out when it comes to doing damage to your enemy targets, right? So, like we said, that's one way to do it. You basically do this, auto, claws, auto. That's the slow. Do this, auto. You can do that. The other way you can engage, if you don't want to use your 3, you can try. Blink is a good way to do this, but we'll do it without blink right now. You can pop your claws, run after them, right? grab them, get the slow. Once the slow wears off,
I am
use this.
untouchable.
Maybe right click, use that auto. Oh, an enemy's here. Let me get out. You can save your 3 to try and get out. If you have a teammate nearby, like maybe your support that is kind of close and they know like, hey, she's playing Dodgy. If you can communicate with them, say, hey, stay a little close to me so I can get out. You can use this to get out of a team fight so you can keep and hold on to your 3 as you engage with somebody. So once again, get these claws like this. Do this. Right click. Okay, they're dead. Oh, someone's coming. Let's get out of here. Using my 3, I can now get out of that fight. So instead of using it to engage, you can use it to run away. Let's talk about her ultimate because it does play into the strategy of how you gank people, how you do all this. Blink is a very good item on her. We'll talk about how to attack and do stuff with Blink here in a second, but let's talk about her ultimate first, and then we can kind of get into combos with her ultimate too. Not just these 3, but using her ult as well. So her ultimate is called Powwow. I just call it the totem, right? It's easier to say and people know what you're talking about, like, oh, Daji's totem, her ultimate. If you say Powwow, like most of the players will know. Do you mean sometimes new players won't? They're like, what the hell's a Powwow? It's the totem, right? Oh, Daji's totem. So Daji summons her signature torture device, the Powwow. As she hovers above the device, she may fire up to 3 shots. Enemy gods hit, take damage, and become chained and slowed. At the end of her ability, chained enemies are pulled to the Powwow, becoming stunned, and then taking damage 3 times over 2 seconds. If a god hit by this ability becomes crowd control immune at any time, so if they have beads or if they use an ultimate like a Scylla becomes crowd control immune during her ultimate on her. These are good counters to Daji's ultimate, right? If you can become crowd control immune, they break the chain on them and they cannot be chained again until this ability ends, right? So first of all, when you chain somebody, they get slowed. You do damage with the shots too. So some people use this even just to like technically like tower dive. I'll show you guys how to do that in a second, but you can use this device to finish somebody off if they're low on health as well. You don't necessarily have to chain them and pull them back. This is what it looks like. When you do it, you end up on top of here, and then you get your shots. And if you chain somebody, see how he's slowed? You can do that, and then you stand up on top of it, you'll get off. Let me go over here. But you'll see that it pulled an enemy to me when I did it. So you can do up to 3. 1, 2, 3. When you jump down, see how they're pulled to it? They'll take that tick damage and stuff, but they're stunned for that 1 second. That allows you to kind of jump down and use your abilities on them to really burst and kill anybody that gets pulled there. So Daji is a very good beads burner. If you build a lot of cooldown, like just with the Jotuns and Hydras, you already have 30% cooldown out of 40%. So you want to kind of build these items because they synergize with her kit so well, and you're able to use her totem. Get some people on here. You can right click to then target to jump down at any time, and then yeah, you're basically just gonna use your abilities on them. Pop your claws, do all that stuff that you need to do to kill everybody. I will also show you that you can actually jump up on this without firing a single shot. You can right click and jump off. You don't need to fire the chains. You can use it as an escape tool sometimes. So you can basically do this. It's like, oh, I'm in danger, I'm immune up here, I'm gonna get out of here, right? You can right click and just like jump over a wall or something like that. So people use this as an escape tool. People use this as a dive tool. If you go under Tower of Phoenix, you can like 3 into somebody, right? It doesn't have an enemy here. You could 3 into somebody though. 3, right? You teleport in. Up, now I'm getting shot by the tower. Guess what? I'm not getting shot by the tower anymore. My dive is completed. Now I'm out of here, right? So people use it to dive towers very effectively as well. Not even to like get a kill with, just to like get out of danger. So you can do something under tower. So say this Odin's under tower that I want to teleport to, right? I can basically pop my claws, use my 3, boom, boom, boom. Okay, I did my damage. Tower shot, like 2 or 3 tower shots, I'm almost dead. Oh, guess what? I was able to jump up and jump out. I was a little too far to go over the wall there, but yeah. So basically, you can use the totem to then get out of a team fight or dive in first, and then your support comes in after you, right? And because your support comes in after you, once you go up on the powwow, he's then taking the shots, and you can jump down, so you can still engage first, right, into a team fight with this, and then it will retarget to the support, and then you can jump down and continue fighting under the tower if your support's tanking it, right? Daiji is really great when it comes to communicating with your teammates. If you guys know and can coordinate around her, she is a deadly ass god. You can see it in the SPL. Like, people will still use her, they don't respect the bans, and they get like rolled because of it, right? So yeah, so Totem, very good, very versatile. It's a beads burner. And once again, you're doing damage to these guys with the shots, right? You'll see 142, 142. You can do all three on the same one. You can do that when they're pulled. Do this. Whoop, proc those hydras. Chase them, follow them, right? Use all your abilities to kind of like burst them down and stuff. So yeah, that's basically her kit. Kind of how to utilize her. Me personally, when it comes to builds, I like Jotuns and Hydras. A lot of people will get Crusher. Crusher's about to get nerfed with this new patch that's coming out, so whenever you're watching this video, kind of see what Crusher is doing at the time, but it goes really well on her because enemies that are hit by your damage abilities take that additional damage. So you can go in here, by Crusher, you're going to do that extra Crusher damage, right, just for using her abilities that you're already using, right? So Crusher's good, plus it gives you auto attack speed. That's really good. And other people will get like a Blood Forge, Heart Seeker, right? They'll go ability based on her. Brawlers is good if they have anti-heal. Me personally, this is controversial, I like building crit on her, and like legit just straight, not an auto attack speed crit, just crit. Rage and Deathbringer. I love like putting on her just because you're jumping in, you're getting a Hydra's proc, you're killing somebody, and you're getting out. So basically with this, you can basically 3 in, auto, 807, burn, you're out. Somebody's dead. You use your powwow, now you're out, right? You get out, you start a team fight, and you kill somebody immediately. That's your job as Daiji. So you can dive their ADC, get behind them with their 3. If you have your ult up or something, kind of save it to try and get out and stuff like that. With blink and stuff, you can do all kinds of crazy stuff with this. So I'll show you here with like a raw. You can basically get your claws up. All right, we're gonna blink on raw, blink, auto, do this. All right, powwow out. I'm out of here, right? Teammate, jump over a wall, get out, whatever you need to do. That's how you can come in, kill somebody real quick. Before everybody else can jump on you, you powwow out. You're invincible during the powwow. Your team can now come in and start fighting now that it's, you know, they're at a disadvantage. They have one guy not in the fight anymore because you literally just killed them. So yeah, you can immediately just turn a team fight really quick with something like this. You can get this, like I said, this, auto, burn, auto. All right. Now you're out, right? You just kill somebody real quick with those dives. Like I said, you can blink in, you can 3 in, you can try and save your 3 if you want. You can do, like I said, come in with this, do this, 1, 2, put those autos in, running away, even if you don't have your ult. Look how slow I am. You can try and get out. Where is he? Where are you at, Odin? That is sad. He's not here. But yeah. That's kind of how you can engage. You can start, you can start with an ult. If you want to blink in and then ult with totem, you can do that. So you can basically like blink in, right? Ult with the totem, try and get somebody out. 2, and then try and use your 3 to get out after that. You can do that. There's multiple ways that you can use her kit and utilize it to a very good extent, right? So yeah, and that's why I like crit on her, because I think she utilizes it and Hydra very well to literally just auto attack delete somebody, right? You're trying to get in, crit somebody, kill them in like 2 or 3 autos and get out. And she's very good at that. And then yeah, at the end here, or maybe before, instead of a Crushers, a Brawlers. If they have like a healer right away, you can get like a Brawler's Beat Stick,
Do they make this in gold?
something like that here instead of Crusher. Then go the crit, then do it depends. You normally don't want to build Crusher like later. It's more of like the early game, so it's up to you in your decision on kind of how you want to handle this. I opt for the cooldown first. So Jotuns and Hydras first. I've seen people build Crusher and Hydras first, right? Those are kind of the orders you can build things on. And once again, with just these two items, you already have the cooldown. You do have a bit of like a penetration problem, so you're not really going to be targeting or killing the tanks with this. This is more of like, I'm diving a squishy and killing that person, like the mage or the ADC. That's who you want to fight with this. Anybody else, you kind of want to just run from between, like, you know, in the team fights and stuff like that. You kind of want to come in, kill one of their damage dealers, and then get out. So I normally opt for this. You can, at the beginning, if you don't want to do Jotuns, like I said, you could start Crusher and then Hydras. It's also not a bad idea if for some reason there isn't any anti-heal here. The Titan's Bane is good. Anything with more pen would be good. 10% physical pen here is really great. Even like a Dominance or something like that. So yeah, because you're getting a 15% physical penetration on your auto attacks through Dominance, right? So you're basically able to do more damage. You have to be careful with the pen, but normally because you have crit, you're able to do enough damage, and the way you're targeting them with squishies should be enough anyway. So it's about playing right with the build that you have, and everything like that. So this is not a bad build either. If you go this and then they have a healer and you do Brawlers, you get your crit on. You need more pen at the end for sure. So you're either building a Dominance or like a Titan's Bane here. To go with the flat pen, you have 10 here and 15 here. That's good. Plus you have the 10% here. That's great. But right after the crit, you really need this in the end game to really get through. So an extra 10% plus 15 on your basic attacks will really do wonders. You know, you're applying the anti-heal with your 3 and stuff to anybody. Like 2 980s, right? Obviously he's level 1, but still a lot of damage that you're able to do to somebody with these types of builds. So yep, that is about it for Daiji. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this helped you learn the character a little bit better. It helps you, you know, build her like a little bit more to your specifications. Actually, really quick, if you don't go crit, if you know people yell at you or whatever, it's basically going to be like a Heartseeker Bloodforge. You'll probably put the something like the Dominance or Titan's Bane here with Heartseeker or here, so you get this on early, and the Bloodforge is going to be the last thing that you end up getting. So really quick, where are you? There you are. It'd be something like this, and then like the Bloodforge. This will also be a good build. It doesn't have as much burst, but you still do a lot of damage with it, right? Because of like the Hydras and stuff like that, or the Heartseeker, sorry, and the Hydras together. You're getting the pen, you're doing some anti-heal, and then Bloodforge, really good because you get this shield after you kill somebody. So you're getting a little bit extra health that you normally wouldn't have. And this helps you not die after ganking somebody. So you're able to come in here, 508, you know, you're still hitting the 500s and stuff like that with a build like this. It's just not as bursty. It's still bursty, but not like as bursty as like the crit build and stuff. But it's a little bit maybe like safer or normal to build something like this. Awesome. So thanks guys for watching. I hope you guys learned a lot from it. If you could just like and share this video, that would really help out. You can also feel free to join the Smite Dojo Discord. It's a Discord server that I run. We basically help teach new players how to play Smite. You don't have to be good, you don't have to be bad to join. Everyone's welcome, any skill level. We have master level players that help teach brand new players in this Discord, right? So it's supposed to be a non-toxic place to come and learn Smite, play with each other. It's not even like, hey, I have to learn or train. It's just people will join and do an LFG, and they'll, you know, just hang out and do casuals and Smite night together and stuff like that. So it's a really great place to just hang out, play some Smite with other people. Feel free to join. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you guys appreciate it, and I will talk to you sooner. Thank you very much and have a great day.